Today we're going to talk about the power of not being shipwrecked. Before I start talking about the power of not being shipwrecked, I want you to go down and hit the subscribe button, please. Hit the subscribe button, please. And don't forget to select the like button. On a cold night in April the 4th to the 15th in 1912, a tragedy happened that everybody remembered. The Titanic was crossing the Atlantic and it hit an iceberg and then sank. So today, as we talk about the power of a shipwreck, there is no greater shipwreck to tie this to than the sinking of the Titanic. In life, our lives can be shipwrecks if we are not aware of certain things. Our lives can be shipwrecked if we get too comfortable being comfortable. Our lives can be shipwrecked if we don't learn to build our brand. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Before we even share anything in detail, let's go over three main points. Point number one, focus. You have to focus. You have to follow one course until successful. That means you have to stick with it. You have to stick with what you're doing. You have to focus on what you're doing. Don't look to the right, nor look to the left. Don't allow distractions to get in the way. Don't allow distractions to get you off your mark. Don't allow distractions to stop you from doing what you're doing. Remember, you're creating a brand. You're creating a brand. You're creating something that will last long after you're gone. And as you create that, you cannot allow the low-hanging fruits in life to get in the way. You can't allow low-hanging achievements or low-hanging self-gratifications to get in the way. You have to learn to cultivate your discipline so you could focus. Follow one course until you're successful. As you focus and you grow, then you will find that you will grow in with the areas that you need to grow in. And you will find that the things that once distract you no longer distract you. You have to be resolute to the cause. You have to keep moving forward. You have to be grateful for the things that you have. Sometimes we could get so into ourselves that we don't realize how much we have accomplished because we keep letting the distractions of life nip away at what we are doing. And if we keep letting those distractions nibble away at what we are doing, we cannot get where we need to go. We got to learn to focus. And focus means growth. You got to grow yourself. You grow yourself. You grow your confidence. You grow your discipline. You grow the way you are. You learn to get rid of stinky thinking. And as you get rid of stinky thinking, then it launches you off into growth. The second point I want to talk about is don't feel comfortable in shallow water. A lot of times people feel comfortable in shallow water because they figure as they walk around in shallow water that there's no sharks in the shallow water. In the shallow water, I don't have to swim. In the shallow water, I don't have to sit down. I don't have to do anything hard. I could just go with the flow. Go with the flow. But you cannot be great if you're just going with the flow. You cannot be extraordinary if you're just going with the flow. As I've always repeated over and over again, I do today what others will not, so that I can do tomorrow what others cannot. And as we just went over the power of a cocoon, you have to realize in order for the butterfly to get out of that cocoon, he has to fight its way out of that cocoon. He has to strengthen its wings by fighting its way out of that cocoon. And as it fights its way out of that cocoon, he's able to develop those wings. Those wings become strong. Those wings become so strong that he's able to fly. He's able to soar. We have to learn to fight our way. We have to learn to launch out into the deep. We have to learn to be confident in what we are doing. We got to learn to grow ourselves in such a way that we could move forward without having been distracted by the little things in life, the little hiccups. Yes, it's going to be tough. Yes, it's going to be hard to get out of that cocoon. Yes, it's going to be hard to get out. Sometimes you feel like you're alone. Sometimes the mental tricks that are going through your mind is overbearing, but you have to stick it through and keep moving forward, because as you stick it through and you keep moving forward, you have to remember that always, when after a fire, something great is produced. You know, when the fire comes through and it burns and you have all the lands burned and it destroys everything, all of a sudden new life comes and something new is birthed as you, the power of leveling up, as you learn to level up, and as you level up, all the power of the lid, your lid is increased, the lid is increased, and as the power of the lid is abide, then your lid is increased and you level up. You level up. You go back and listen to the power of the stretch. You learn to stretch. And as you stretch, you grow. As you stretch, you grow. And you're able to fend in the deep. You're able to swim in the deep. You're able to deal with the hardships of life. You're able to deal with those tough decisions. You're able to deal with those tough conversations. You're able to grow. You cannot develop a brand or develop who you are meant to be if you want to always be comfortable. It means you're going to have to level up. You're going to have to grow a thick skin. And as you grow a thick skin, that means launching out into the deep. Yes. Yes, launching out in the deep. You might say, my gosh, there's sharks out in the deep. No, but you see, the fundamental fact is you cannot grow if you're nestled within a fishbowl. You have to go out into the ocean. As you go out in the ocean and you learn to swim in the ocean and you learn to develop yourself, you learn to geodot, you learn to connect with each other, the power of connection. Go back and listen to that. As you learn to connect with each other and you learn to connect with others, then what happens? You bring into your life the key things that you need to move forward. You bring into your life the key things that you need to grow, the key things that you need to develop. Another thing that I want to talk about is that you have to learn to build your confidence. You have to learn to build your confidence. How do you build your confidence? You build your confidence by growing your discipline. You grow your discipline, the daily habits, the things that you do every day will get you where you need to go. So what you need to do is to get up a piece of paper and you write down on a piece of paper, what action steps do I take today that gets me towards my goals? What action steps do I do today? What would I need to do today that will take me further and take me closer to my goals? And you go out there every single day and you work on those action steps that takes you closer to your goals and take you closer to where you want to go. You see, you cannot grow your confidence if you don't learn to grow discipline. You see the power of discipline. Go back and listen to that one. You have to learn to have discipline. You have to learn to stick with it. You have to learn to be the stickability. You have to learn to stick with things and feel it through. You can only get where you need to go if you understand the power of sight, the power of being able to see, and that will be the next video. So that'll be something that you could wait for. The power to be able to see. So as you learn to see, as you learn to look forward, you have to learn to build your confidence in order to learn to see. Many people will not understand what you're doing. Many people will not even see where you're going because they're here and your mindset is up here. And you can never expect somebody whose mindset is down here to think like somebody up here. So that's why it's so important to keep growing. The best thing that will show people what you're doing is the results. When they see the results of what you're doing, they will quicker get to know it, because a lot of people, they have to see it to believe it. They can't understand what your creator is birthing in you. They can't understand that there's something churning inside of you that's saying come up higher. They can't understand there's something churning within you for greatness. There's greatness birthing inside of you. There's greatness want to explode out of you, but they cannot see that because their feeble minds cannot comprehend it, because where they are, they're here on that level of understanding. They can't see it. They can't see it. They can't feel it. They can't touch it. So hence it's not there yet. So instead of going and sharing all your dreams and your visions with everybody and have it being killed in the womb before it even comes to fruition, go out there and work on you. Go out there and develop you. Go out there and bring your craft to reality. Go out there and learn to develop your wings so that you could soar with the eagles instead of crawling around with the caterpillars. Learn to grow you. Learn to grow your backbone. Learn to grow yourself. How do you grow yourself? You read. Develop your mind. Read a good book, read motivational books, watch seminars, watch podcasts, go on YouTube and YouTube people like Les Brown and Zig Ziglar and all of those guys and Brian Tracy and all those guys, and listen to their podcasts, listen to their CDs. Get good stuff in your mind, get good stuff that will build you, that will elevate you, that will take you from stinky thinking to good thinking. Listen to the good book, let the word come alive within you, let the grace come alive within you, let that interpost flow out of you. Let that anointing flow out of you. And as it does, you will truly become great. As it does, you will truly realize the power of not being shipwrecked. You don't have to stay in the shallow waters. You don't have to play it safe. You could go out there and develop your brand and grow your band and grow the power of a brand. And as you go that, you will understand the power of not being shipwrecked. Thank you for listening. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button below. Hit the subscribe button below. And don't forget to hit the like button as well. God bless you. Go out there and have an awesome day.